Bro, we are live, and Chuck, nice
Yeah.
to finally meet you, my friend.
All right, nice to meet you too, bro. How's that guitar playing coming along?
Getting there, getting there. It's been a while since I picked it up because I've been so busy with life, bro. It's a life balance trying to do these type of things.
Sure.
But yeah, dude. Congratulations on your new single, "Run for
Yeah,
Your
thanks,
Life."
bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, that song uh it was a lot of fun to write, be part of. It's yeah, I'm in Los Angeles right now, rehearsing, and that's one of the songs we're jamming. It's fun to play. You're gonna love it on guitar as well.
Yeah,
And yeah, man, it's gonna be we're really excited for this new album to drop, and there's a lot of really killer material on there that we're really proud of.
yeah. I think that you guys really outdid yourself with this song because it's heavy as
Yeah,
fuck. It's probably
yeah,
like one of the heaviest songs that you guys written, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
I think.
Wait till you hear some of
Um,
the other ones.
oh, dude, I can't wait. And I was saying to Chris that your vocal range on this song is like you're pushing it one step further, and I find that with like the last three Beasto albums that you guys released, it's like your vocal range is just improving and getting better and better and better. And I'm not a
Thank you.
vocalist, but like what I hear, something that's really fucking good,
Oh
you
man, I
know.
appreciate it, dude. That means a lot. I think as somebody who is constantly trying to, develop their style of guitar playing and vocals and all of that stuff, it means a lot that people are noticing the challenge and that I'm accepting as a singer and that I'm always trying to try something new and keep it interesting for the listeners and for myself. And that's the beautiful thing about Bisto, and you got myself and on vocals and Calico on vocals as well, and you're really going to hear her really reaching and trying and stretching and doing some just amazing new melodies, and she's writing songs on this record and lyrics, and she's really just coming out of this thing out of like a cannon. She is just going for it, and it's it's really exciting to see and hear the growth.
Yeah, I know like you guys are like improving as a band as well. Like, the first album's always going to be my favorite album,
Yeah,
without a
it's
doubt.
gonna have a special place for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember listening to Breakdown for the first time,
Yeah.
and I was just like, because I've been a big fan of yours since I first saw you live with Alice. I think it was 2007 when you guys came to Wollongong, and
Yeah.
that was the first time I saw Alice live. My dad took me. Well, I begged my dad to take me there, and then I followed you on like Facebook, and then I think
Right.
like you posted up something about you had like a new band, and you posted up Bisto Blanco, and like, oh, I wonder who's singing, and then saw you that you were singing. I'm like, holy shit, this is badass. Like, it's like Motorhead and White Zombie mixed together, which is two of my favorite bands.
Two of mine as
It's
well, bro, for sure.
yeah. So, what made you want to become a front man for the
Well,
band?
I was writing a lot of material, especially at the time of the first Beasto record, and in order to get my point across for the song, I was singing a lot, and I've always been a singer, but I've never really sang lead vocals for a band, but I always sang lots of backgrounds and harmonies and things like that.
Yeah,
So it was just more of like it was I had songs, I had things I wanted to sing about, I had ways I wanted to sing, I had visions and ideas, and as a musician, as an artist, I feel very lucky to be able to sing and play guitar, play bass, write, and hone in this craft. So it was just something that it was time for me to step
the
out of the
show.
little comfort zone I was in and try something new.
Yeah, and dude, you're killing. And you've always been a bass player. You've always just played bass for your whole life.
Well, I started off playing trumpet when I was a younger kid, and then
I did hear that one, yeah.
yeah, then I wanted to be a drummer, but when I was a young kid, there's a couple of brothers, John and Mike. John played great drums, and his brother Mike was a fantastic guitar player. So, just like any band, you needed the third member is either going to sing or play bass. So I picked up the bass and learned to play it, and we just started doing parties and jamming, and I started to love the instrument.
Hell yeah. And who were your bass idols growing up? Like, who influenced you to be a bass player?
Well, I feel like when I was a kid, it was just pretty much, it was rock and roll that was my influence, man. I didn't hone in on one particular guy necessarily as much as I kind of was starting to get into bands. And I loved to listen to bands and the way the bass player would approach these different songs and styles. John Deacon from Queen was the band itself was just a massive influence on me. Cliff Williams, from AC/DC, and Dave Evans from AC/DC. Those guys, I love that style of bass playing. I love that style of blues-based rock and roll. Of course, back when we were learning songs, you had to listen to Zeppelin and Aerosmith and Kiss and all of that stuff. I think I started just getting into this whole style of music. Black Sabbath was massive. Ozzy and Dio were massive influences on me as well. Then later, as I started really getting better at my instrument and understanding it more, it was Metallica. I went and saw them in clubs in San Francisco, and then Cliff was just like on another level of bass playing. That band was just on another level. You could sense that they were on to something massive at that time. And so then at that point, when I realized that rock and roll, was giving me all of these wonderful influences and all of these people that I just mentioned, from John Deacon to Bob Daisley to Cliff Burton to Cliff Williams to, Dee Dee Ramone to, Jimmy Bain and all these guys, I really realized that and Steve Harris, obviously. I wanted to really hone in my craft a little bit more and get deeper into some blues and get deeper into understanding musical theory and why things are the way that they are. I wanted to become a working musician, and I went to music school in Los Angeles, and really got a chance to get a better grip on what the bass has to offer.
That's awesome. I have a lot of friends that are playing bands, and most of them are bass players, but they all switched over to like playing guitar and doing their own
There
stuff.
she is.
Hey, Calico.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. How are you?
Oh, just trying to fit two big bodies in a tiny closet as per usual.
Yeah.
Watch your hands. There we go.
Yeah, you guys fit in. It's all good.
Yeah, we did it.
Do go on.
Yeah.
Friends and bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of my friends that like play bass, and they all switch over and play guitar now and just start doing acoustic shows for themselves, man.
Yeah, I think it's good to learn guitar being a bass player as well. It just helps you understand, some movements that you might need as a bass player. Understanding guitar chords and song structure, things like that, just really makes you a much better bass player.
Yeah. Well, Calico, I was saying to Chuck that we've run for your life. You guys really outdid yourself with this one because it's such a fucking banger song, and it's probably like one of the most heaviest songs that you guys have written. So, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's one of those things where we wanted to. We're making the record in Europe, right? And the sounds around us there were so like European metal, so inspired, and I kind of went, this doesn't feel like too big of a jump for Bisto. I wonder, if we could go from this blues-based rock to this like really sort of like European metal and like somehow mash these two, in like in a amalgamation and make it work. And when I first heard the finished draft of Run for Your Life, the story became really clear for me, like what I thought we could do with it. You know what I mean? I saw the video play out basically, and you know, your first thought is usually like, okay, what $1 billion pocket are we going to rob to do this? But it just so turned out that, you know, lucky to live in LA and lucky to have like a lot of friends that love Bisto and love what we do, and we're willing to go, you know, I know a guy that has a spaceship thing, and I know a guy who has like laser guns, and I'm going, bring it, let's do all of it. So yeah,
the video clip's actually really fun to watch because it's kind of like watching like a low budget like a sci-fi movie. It's sort of like Star Wars meets Aliens type of thing.
Yeah, I was inspired by those sort of like late 80s, early 90s like space horror films. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because it was just like we really had to look with like, okay, well, we're like post-pandemic, what do we have to work with here? You know, and what can tell this story? And so as I was watching the dailies, basically like, you know, the shots from that day, it started to come together, and I go, oh man, this is like, yeah, like Alien, like the first draft of Blade Runner. Like it was so like, yeah, it was so cool. It was so that genre and that era, and I just haven't seen that in a while. So
yeah, I reckon, I think it's cool. Like I've probably rewatched that video clip like so many times now.
Awesome.
It's amazing how she was able to capture the story within this 3.5 minute time frame too. Like it really tells a story. It keeps you interested. It does me anyway.
Well, and the hard thing is we have so much footage. I think we probably could have made 5 videos out of the stuff that we got. I mean, we shot over 12 hours of footage, and as I'm cutting it together, I'm going, well, we could tell this story or this story. It's a great problem to have, but it's just like, gosh, that's so much stuff to cover, and trying to pick the best takes. You know, when we lasered that guy and blew him off his feet, I mean, there were 100 takes of that were so funny. I had to find the one that wasn't funny because the other ones were the way he like flailed through the air was so funny that it took me out of the video a little bit. But that, I mean, I'll use that as blackmail against him for the rest of his natural life. So.
Well, I was going through like some of the photos that you guys posted up, and this one's like my favorite.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So if you look in the background, you see like all the TV screens and whatever. If you recall in the video, that's the bad guy's spaceship where they walk in and put the bomb up on the wall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we did a photo shoot there, and I looked around and I went, this place is amazeballs. And so we went back and shot Run for Your Life there. But yeah, I feel like that really captures, you know, kind of like, I don't know, I've always had this vision of Bisto where it's like, you know, we started off on Earth on motorcycles, and then like flash forward 1,000 years later.
Yeah.
And we're still up in space like Jason X, you know?
You can't go wrong with Jason X. Jason X is such an underrated movie. And I can go on forever with that movie too.
I think so.
I get a lot of hate for that, but I don't really care.
Well, I'll jump on your team. I think it's a great movie. I could watch Freddy versus Jason any day of the week. I think it's a brilliant piece of film.
That one.
Dude, the thing is that I've seen critically acclaimed Oscar films that like halfway through I'm going, is this over?
Yeah.
And all of Jason versus Freddy. Look, if you're a fan, then you're going to enjoy it because it's too great. Who cares if the canon, Woody doesn't have a left hand? Like, whatever. Enjoy yourself. It's Freddy versus Jason. It's Chucky versus Leprechaun. Like, what did you pay to see?
I would watch that for sure.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. I heard there was a rumor that was going to be like a Chucky vs. Megan crossover.
I heard that too. I've heard whispers of that amongst the interns at Universal. So we'll see if that actually happens.
I'd watch it, and I'm probably still going to get shit for it because everybody at where I work knows that I'm known for watching really bad horror movies.
Good.
And I stand by it.
I think there should be a Chucky versus Meg.
That's what he just said.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Megan.
Oh, not Megan.
Oh, Meg, he meant the shark.
The shark, where he's like,
No, Megan. The
Like
ripoff
he
of-
swallows Chucky,
Yeah.
and then from the inside, he just like stabs his way out.
yeah. Or
What
he's
we done there?
I mean,
great
look,
idea.
we're
That could be a
venturing into
movie.
film.
Yeah, who knows?
We could do it ourselves.
We can do it. We'll do it.
Yeah,
You're hearing it here.
I really love the to go back with Run for Your Life. I really love the intro of Chuck, like just starting on this Run for Your Life. Sorry for ruining your vocal.
Hey,
thing there.
no, it's actually very close.
But trying, but and it kicks off with that heavy guitar riff, and then
Yeah, it's pretty bomb.
Yeah.
We started rehearsals yesterday. He was, they're just putting the music together, and I tried to do it just because I was the only one with the mic in rehearsal, and I got through like before I was like,
There's a special
how you
place.
do it. It's a
There's
talent.
a special place there that it lives.
yeah,
I remember when we first started touring, and I had to learn to sing very quickly and how to withstand a tour.
Yeah.
And I think first couple of runs we did, I think I lost my voice like 3-4 shows into it, because I just hadn't learned how to really place that voice yet for longevity. And now it's like I really feel like a day off would be great, but it's not necessarily important for my vocal. It's more important for my body or my state of mind, but yeah. And you hear the progression of the vocal from the first record to where we're at right now. There's raspiness is still there, but there's also attempts, some of my favorite vocal that I thought I'm really proud of is like Down, or, Dark Matter is kind of cool too,
Yes. That's one of my favorite songs off that this second album. Yes.
Yeah.
I was saying to Chris, like, my favorite guitar solo is Dark Matter, hands down.
Yeah, Chris crushed it on that song. He just yeah. I think Chris, actually, to be honest with you, I'm really surprised that not a lot of more people are not hip to that guy's guitar solos, because you listen to his solos on Machine Girl to Halcyon, Dark Matter, Half-Life.
Death
the guy
Rattle.
is insanely talented. Like, I love Chris. He really approaches things with not just, it's my time to solo, I'm going to go crazy. He actually really thinks about, what the song needs. It's really important. And he did a great job on this new record as well.
Yeah, he did. And I think it says a lot about any artist, whether you're an actor or singer or guitar player. I think the measure of how talented you are when you can step out like Chris can and hear the whole thing as a piece and say, like, as an actor, I go, I don't know if my line is necessary there.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I think it doesn't, it takes away from the heaviness of your line. It's just, it's repeating. And so, like, even in rehearsal yesterday, Chris is like, I'm going to pop out on this part. So when I come back in, and it's cool to hear, no ego for the greater good of a piece. That's really, and it's unique as his guitar playing is as well.
His guitar playing is very underrated.
I agree.
Very, in my opinion, I think it is.
I'll rate it.
I'll rate it. Yeah, but he's
across the board.
But he's my favorite guitar player now. And like I said to Chuck when I had Chris on and we were hanging out before we went live, I said to him, like, just want to say something that I'm sorry for butchering your guitar stuff on Instagram.
No, I gotta tell you, man, it was inspiring to see you, man. It really, you made us feel like what we were doing was important. You're constantly posting videos of you playing our music, and that means a lot, man. And I look forward to seeing you do that more.
Yeah, when I see anybody singing or playing, guitar, putting on the makeup, costumes, I mean, it just, to me, it says that one person, 2 people, 20 people, 200,000 people, that if you kind of like, you get it. And it's so cool when you meet people, when you have like really specific sense of humor and like somebody gets it like exactly, and you're like, okay, now I have to kill you because you're awesome. But like, that's just me. No, but it's so cool to hear people reacting to just Run for Your Life, and the rest of the record is so rad. And I really think, like, hearing people react to it, even like the second single that's coming out next, is hearing people react to it and go, you guys, it's so great. And you go like, thanks, and because you have to be modest or whatever. But this is one of those records that, like, when I hear the songs, I'm like, well.
They are very unique. They are very unique to themselves, and so it's a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah, and a lot of fun to put visuals to. It's like we did 11 videos for 11 songs, and
that's impressive.
Yeah, and then I plucking my eyeballs out, after I said, "Oh, let's do this," and then we shot all the footage, which is the fun part. Okay, we're here on this, and then we're doing this, and then we're underwater, and then we're in space, and then we're doing all this stuff. And then I was like, wow, we did it. And then they're like, okay, so now edit for 3 months. I was like,
not so much fun anymore, is it?
No, now it's not fun, is it? No, the video I sent you. Oh, is it funny? Is it fun still? You having fun?
Yeah, think about
that. You want to think about that? But like, but then the middle part's not fun, the editing. And then some people love it. I am not she. And then now that it's done, right? It's like getting a tattoo or having a baby. I finished editing pretty much everything, and now I'm having like more ideas where I go, what if we added, and I have to remember that how much I was like, but I mean, he came up with a killer idea the other day. We're going to finish off our like third single or like featured track. We're adding to it in the video. I'm going to make all 11 into one cohesive piece. And that's just something I feel like I had to do after I saw everything together. I'm like, I'm going to make this into a full hour and 20-minute film.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm going to string everything together, make it a story, make him act. You guys are going to love it.
Chuck acting is, I can't wait.
I'm learning a lot from her too, because it's cool, because Calico's really good at like directing you without making you kind of feel like you're doing something wrong. Like she's got really great advice, and it's usually like a sentence or two. It's not this long-winded type thing, It's like she knows what I have and what I can use at that particular moment to get what she needs. So watching Run for Your Life and listening to her, direction, I wish, like at times I think, oh, now I see what she was going for, what she means by that. So I'm excited for more.
You're going to be a killer director when this is done, because he's helping me edit a lot of it, and he's watching these videos go, I see what you mean. Yeah. I see what you were trying to do there. And I mean, one of my biggest tricks ever is I roll, if there's two people in a scene, right? While I'm giving direction to, let's say it's Chuck and Chris. While I'm giving direction to Chris on what to do in his close-up, I always have my B cam filming Chuck, thinking, because he's not, it's like if you haven't been trained as an actor, like I can't even act like I can play guitar, but he stepped so willingly into it. And so when I'm telling Chris what to do, he thinks the camera's on him, right? He's nodding, going through it. But Chuck doesn't think anybody's filming him. So he's thinking about what I just said to him, and he's honestly in this mode.
Yeah.
And I'm getting this real wheel spinning moment. And I, blown my cover now. Now I'm going to be doing it. But I always have two cameras, and one is always filming the person that doesn't think they're being filmed, because there's these great moments of like realization or like thoughtfulness, and it's just like it's a hack, but it works. And some of my favorite footage of him in the video was when he didn't think we were filming him. It's good. It's hard to be that vulnerable and just kind of let it all down. And if you can figure out a hack, by all means. I had to go to acting school for 15 years to figure it out, so he just kind of naturally like tap danced into it.
Well, and you're obviously on tour with your dad for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what was that experience like for you?
I mean, he was there for most of it. I think I learned adaptability really quickly. I learned to not be precious about my plans, as far as like, I'm going to go here and you're going to go here, and then this is exactly how this is going to go. You have to be so hyper present and paying attention to what's happening around you, in order to get the best performance, because the guy next to me could be doing the coolest thing in the world, and if I'm also doing something, it's try hard. It's weird. So paying attention to, like, if Chris is having a moment, like a Guitar Lord moment, I'll drop to my knees next to him on purpose to bring the focus to him. Not that he needs it, but it's just this director's eye that's always on everything. And I really learned that working in the Alice show, because it's like a cool, like, push and pull between Alice and the band, and Alice and the fans, and the props, and Alice. And so, like, when it's flowing and everybody kind of knows where to be when, I mean, that's why I do love this lineup that he's had forever. They're not only amazing musicians, but they know they can find their light. They know the moment to frame him or to step back and just, like, have a moment. And it's really, like, it's inspiring. And I've taken a lot of it into Bisto to learn how not everything can scream all at once. And that's, I think, the biggest change from when we started to now.
Yeah, and I feel like the band that he has now is the tightest it's ever been. Ever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always thoroughly impressed, you know, with them, and you know, being a performer myself, I think you don't know Jack until you've had to act, because I mean, a lot of bands on the Alice level are asking you to be an exemplary musician, right? But they don't have to be careful they don't get decapitated or stay out of somebody's way or move. And, like, so these guys, the band and the crew, are being asked to be in a Broadway show, not just a rock show. And so by virtue of that, I think they're excellent actors, and I think they have a little bit of edge going into anything they do, because they're used to doing 7 things at the same time. And so when you just do a jam, all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I didn't realize you were a legend. So I'm like, yeah, because I'm usually like,
There's a lot going on there, especially with your shows too. I've watched a couple of, like, YouTube, like, live concert footage and stuff like that, and there's so much shit going on there. It's like Chris just rocking out with his long hair and just flipping it back and just hanging, begging, and then there's Chuck just like, oh yeah, and just playing guitar and stuff like
hair,
that.
Man.
That hair's
got and then you
bunk.
and seeing you, Calico, just going just nuts and just working the crowd as well with the baseball bat. Which, can you buy that at the merch stand?
Oh yeah. Let's arm the audience. That's a really good
idea. And is it Jan? Is it Jan? Did I say his name?
Jan, Jan, our bass player.
He's just a killer bass player.
Yeah,
you know, just rocking out.
We all work very well together. It's a great band.
Yeah, and I also think it's controlled chaos. Bisto, a lot like Alice, a lot like a lot of the real theatrical bands. The more fun it looks like we're having and free and, like, whatever, I think it comes from 2 things. It comes from a butt ton of rehearsal to make it look that loose, and a willingness to just let authenticity come through, because I don't always sing the best, I don't always look the best, I don't whatever, but I'm there 100%. He's there 100%. And Bisto's not selling you anything that we aren't about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not putting on this makeup being like, oh, we're going to go play pretend. All of our Bisto characters are basically us turned up to 15.
Yeah. It's full of energy, and fingers crossed to see you guys down here to Australia. And
we cannot wait. I'm so excited.
I'll definitely be there. I'll be at the front row. I'll drag my old ass down at the front. But Chuck, I want to talk to you about your time with Dio. Obviously, I'm a big Dio fan, as well as, I'm guessing, you, Calico, as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, how can you not be? Legendary.
And what was your time like with Dio, and what was he like working with him?
You know, I'll use a very Dio description, which is it was magical. It was magical working with Ronnie. I mean, it really, truly was. Now, there's nobody like that guy. I don't know if there ever will be again. That he had a very unique lyric style, storytelling style. His vocal power was just unmatched. And the thing that I found with Ronnie that I don't know, I'm pretty sure other guys can say this, but he made me feel really comfortable and needed and appreciated. Like I think Ronnie really, I worked so hard for that guy.
Yeah.
Man, there were times I would dig my toes into my boots into the stage, and I would be digging into and playing with everything I had for him, because it just felt that way on stage. It was so powerful. And and I think Ronnie used to come on the bus, and I'd be sitting there or whatever, and he'd just look at me and he'd say, I wish I would have met you sooner, Chuck. And that, to me, I mean, it really just made me feel so good. And I was trying so hard at that time to make a name for myself, or at least take this opportunity that he had given me and make the most of it. And he was wonderful to work with. Wendy was wonderful to work with. They had this crazy dynamic as well, because they were, husband, wife, and then they weren't together, but they were still manager, artist. And you could tell that there was this love that they had for each other on a personal level, but obviously in a professional level. You could really tell that Wendy really loved him, and she really, at the end of the day, whatever their differences were, like, she would do anything for that guy.
Yeah, and she carries on his legacy so amazing. I mean, she's still doing Ride for Ronnie and the Bull for Ronnie,
awesome.
and she raises money for cancer, and we come and support anytime that we can, because I mean, his legacy is.
I remember there was this time where the promoter was upset about something, trying to blame Ronnie on something that went wrong or whatever. And man, I could hear her behind the door talking to this guy and just tearing into him about the professionalism and the love and how you are nowhere near, or nor do you have, should you ever be bringing that up, because what the fans mean for Ronnie, or how he treats these fans. And you could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, he would sign this was before meet and greets. This was before all of it. And Ronnie would sit outside the bus, because we rode on one bus, crew and band, and we'd have to wait for Ronnie to sign every single autograph. He would stand in front of that bus and he would sign everybody's whatever they had.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. I'm trying not to tear up here. Nah, because my dad got me into Dio when I was in high school, and he was like, Dio is just an amazing singer. Everything that he does, it tells a story. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I listen to it, and it just puts you on a fucking journey. Is what I like.
Listen to that Rainbow stuff, man. If your listeners don't know, just even listen to Rainbow. Just 2 songs. You can Rainbow Eyes, and
Yeah, man.
I mean,
I kind of wish I went and saw Dio live when Heaven and Hell played in Wollongong, and this was in 2007, I think it was, under the name Heaven and Hell.
I think that was us.
Yeah. I don't know if we were out in Australia, but we did a run with Heaven.
We did a run with, I was going to tell you, that's how I became hip to Dio. I knew the name, but we toured with him, and I remember putting my costume on, and the first song, I was like in my dressing room, however far away the stage is, and I went, what in the world? Like, I'm half dressed up like a nurse going, wow, holy crap.
Yeah,
because I think Down was opening up for them as well.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, when you saw them,
yeah.
Pepper playing guitar.
I think so. I missed out, but a buddy of mine, he's a big Ronnie James Dio fan. He actually sent me a question to ask you.
Okay.
Chuck. Steve. So my buddy Steve that I work with.
Okay.
He said,
who is the best guitarist Dio played with? Oh, yeah. Man, I mean, are you talking about Dio as a solo artist, Steve, or Dio as
Dio as a solo? Yeah. I'm gonna go with Richie Blackmore.
Well, again, as a solo artist, right? I mean, that was
Yeah.
Rainbow. Of course, it was
Yeah.
Richie Blackmore. I mean, Richie Blackmore would be the guy for sure. But I mean, listen, no denying the first 2 Dio records. There's no denying Vivian Campbell's guitar playing on the first, especially the first Dio record. There's no denying it. That guy was insanely good. If you're talking about Dio from those days, from his solo career, then yeah, Vivian. Then you don't have a choice really. It was either Richie Blackmore or Tony Iommi, because that was it. So I mean, I don't know, man. That sounds like 3 pretty radical guitar players.
That's fine by me. I'll take that. I'll let him know you said that.
Pick. You can't pick anybody else. There are no.
Nah, man.
Nobody.
Nah,
there are no one.
There are no one. There are no one.
We're all great.
No one's else.
So I've got a couple more questions.
Sure.
Because I don't want to hold you up as hostages for any longer. Because I know you guys.
Not at all hostage. We just have to go here to learning the songs from our record.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. Because I know you said 30 minutes, and I know like
we're all good. Ask away.
Yeah. So this is a horror movie podcast where we talk about things horror. What are your top 5 horror movies? So Calico, you can go first.
Yeah.
Me.
I'm picking you. You. Yeah.
Genre specific. Okay. In no order.
Yeah.
Event Horizon. I would say As Above, So Below.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, I think mostly because I wasn't expecting it. Midsummer.
Oh yes, I agree.
God,
that was
I was not expecting that shit. I was like,
so good.
What just happened?
Was my favorite for sure.
Yeah, that movie messed me up.
Oh God.
I saw it alone in the theater.
Yeah.
I was the only one.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you, bro.
It was freaky.
2 more. If you're thinking of one, jump in.
All right, I can give you a couple of mine. From the days when I was a kid, one that changed my life for sure was Carrie, Aliens, and
Chris.
What did Chris say?
When Harry meets Sally.
Sally.
Let him on, dude. You got to block this guy.
He's doing it because I was making comments the whole time he was on the show.
Oh, now he's trying to be friends. No, dude. No, we're not friends now. Hi, Chris.
See you in a minute.
Yeah, see you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Probably sitting.
He's sitting outside. Yeah.
Right now. There was a movie, the Trilogy of Terror, which was I think a television special.
Chris has to do with this story, by the way. Tell him the whole story. Go on. And then
well, there was a made for TV movie. There was 3 of them. And there was the ones that one really got me was this one. It was called Bobby. Are you familiar with it? It was in the 70s. No. Yeah, you should watch it.
Well, you're about to be.
You have to give me a list of movies to watch.
No, it was a really great. It's a really, really eerie story. And should I tell the story?
Let me explain. So he's trying to tell me about this movie. And we just finished the show and we were super like sweaty and gross, whatever. And he's in the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat, all my clothes. And Chris is right in between, right here in the back.
It's just the 3 of us. And we're in our own little, it was like a SUV or something.
Right. Heading back to where we were going. So
we were in Italy in the woods kind of area, heading back to the hotel.
Right. Yeah. And it's also important to remember that I have a solo cup in my hand and I'm listening to this story and Chuck goes, and it's all dark. Now, mind you, the lights are going like this and Chris is in the back in the dark and he's going like this. So I think he's falling asleep and Chuck goes, do you ever hear about the movie Bobby? And I went, no. And he goes,
let me tell you the
story. So go ahead, tell the story.
Tell you the story of Bobby.
Yeah.
It's a made-for-television horror movie about a young kid who lived with his mom, and they lived by the seaside, and Bobby accidentally drowned in the ocean. And his mom, who had practiced on the side occasionally some witchcraft, she was so devastated that months went by, and she had some sort of seance or ritual that she did because she missed her baby boy so bad that she wanted him back. So she did this ritual to bring back her son Bobby, and nothing happened. But a night went by, and it was raining outside, and then mom's going to bed, and she hears at the front door, and it's raining, and she goes downstairs, and mommy, and she opens the door, and there's her son Bobby is on the doorstep soaking wet.
Oh,
and
no.
She's so excited to see him, and she brings him inside and dries him off and makes him a sandwich. Bobby says to his mom, she says, well, it's time for bed, Bobby. You should get some sleep. He says, no, Mommy, I don't want to go to bed. I want to play a game. She says, well, what do you want to play? He says, hide and seek. And he takes off running. Through the house Bobby goes, screaming, come find me, Mommy. Come find me. I'm over here, Mommy. Can you find me? And we just kept talking. I kept telling the story, right? And Calico keeps leaning in. And I'm going.
He's telling it because he goes, and then she hears from the closet, Mommy, I'm in here. And
he goes, yeah, Bobby says, Mommy, I'm in here. And, Mommy, you're never going to find me. So now the rules are going to change. I'm going to find you, Mommy.
And so I'm leaning in, and Chuck goes, he goes, and as Bobby came around the corner, his hands came up, and from the back seat, Chris lurches forward and goes, Gah! And I had the cup in my hand, and I crushed it. I was like, ah! And it just went everywhere.
I kept waiting for this to happen because, Chris and I are tight. We've been best friends for.
He's looking at him
I'm going, dude, come on, get going, do your thing.
And because he kept getting quieter and quieter, and I kept leaning in to hear him until Chris was like, right in my ear. And so it was. Cannot remember the last time I was that scared.
Yeah.
Good song.
Yeah, Mommy. And I just a picture we're in the woods of Italy, and I'm like leading.
It's a great story and a great movie, and I recommend you seeing it.
So those are the top.
Those are our top 5.
You have to send me a message full of awesome horror movies to watch.
Great.
And then I'll give
and
you
those
my
were the days where you would find that on television, and it was epic.
Yeah.
And, my favorite thing when I was very young, my mom, my dad was a fireman, and he worked every other day, so 24 hours on. My mom would watch horror movies when he wasn't working. I don't know why, it just seems like they were always on. I find myself watching Night of the Living Dead with my mom, and all of these great horror movies, and even Creatures from Black Lagoon, and King Kong was one of my favorite movies of all time. And
Have you seen the new one?
No, not yet. I want to.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Okay.
Me and the mate went and watched it, and we loved it.
Yeah,
we're in the theaters,
Godzilla, all that stuff. We watched it all. But Carrie, and there was a bunch of them. I think there was another one called The Dummy or something.
The Dummy?
Yeah, it was an ventriloquist.
The Dummy. Yeah. I have the DVD. Yeah.
Anyway, right on, man.
Thanks, man. And
whoa,
that is awesome. So I've got 5 more. So I came up with some quick little fun questions for you guys to answer quickly. So, you guys can both answer it at once. So, what's your favorite Bisto song to play live?
One.
Wait. What's up? That's the Chris's guitar part. So I can't remember.
Got.
Oh yeah, okay,
ready? 1, 2, 3.
We got
grind.
this.
Okay, I take that one. If there's one artist that you want to collaborate a record with and do a full-length album, who would you pick?
Okay.
Wait. Okay.
Do 1, 2, 3, and then say it.
Oh man, that's a tough one. If an artist I'd love to collaborate.
Just right now in this moment. Boosh.
Okay, ready?
1,
2, 3.
Highly
Justin
suspect.
Hawkins.
Great. You guys are fun. I love you guys. What's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you on stage?
Okay, ready on 3.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
My
Calico
period.
Had their period. Why did you say that? Because I was thinking that would be the thing you would say too.
Because nothing else embarrasses me.
Oh my God, I remember. Anyway, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
one.
it's
Bobby,
Bobby.
another question.
One more. If you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Today. Or in general?
In general.
Describe myself in one word. All right, got
Okay,
it.
ready on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Authentic.
Bro.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you for doing this. This was fucking fun. To be honest, I was a little bit nervous because I was a big fan of you.
You didn't expect periods to come up, did you?
Fuck no. But guys, make sure to check out Bisto Blanco because you guys will be touring Europe soon.
Yeah.
Here's the tour dates. Run for Your Life is out now. Go listen, stream it, share it, tell your parents, tell your ex-lovers, tell your enemies. This song is fucking awesome. It'll kick you in the nuts. And if you're heading to Sydney in a few weeks' time, which I may be going to that too, so I might see you there.
Let me know, man.
I will. I'll send you. I'll shoot you a message. Check this. Check Alice Cooper out, Blondie, and a few other bands that are going to be playing. And
Palais
guys,
Royale.
Palais Royale. We toured with them in Hailstorm. They're amazing.
They're great.
I love Hailstorm too. Any last words for you guys?
Thanks for your support. Thank you very much for having us, and thanks to your listeners. See you guys soon.
Right, do it again.
Yeah, man.
Ready?
And
Fireworks.
Let's try this one.
No, we'll do the thing. The fireworks. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Fireworks. We used up our fireworks points.
Yeah, we got to do the Ronnie James Dio.
He usually does his thing. How come it's not doing it? Anyway. All right, bro. See you.
Catch you guys later.
Take care. Bye.